Yo, what is up guys, Delboy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully you guys are doing well. If you're new here, smash that like, hit subscribe, all of that good stuff. So this video is a quick little, reaction or initial thoughts type of video for a fight that's just been made by Frank Warren and Queensberry Promotions. I actually believe this card will be the first Frank Warren show on DAZN. I might be wrong about that, but the show goes down on April the 5th, and the card is heavyweight themed, headlined, and this is a loser leaves town fight. Dillian Whyte versus Joyce over 12 rounds, heavyweight action. Considering where both guys are at in their careers, I think this fight makes perfect sense. Dillian Whyte has had a period of inactivity due to drug-related issues. Dillian Narco Whyte. But he's been very inactive. He had a couple of fights last year at a very low level. Beat Ebenezer Tete over 7. Beat Christian Hammer over 3 rounds. But never fought in 2023. Had a couple of fights in 2022. Obviously lost to Tyson Fury in April of 2022, but Dillian Whyte in his last sort of 3 fights since the Tyson Fury fight, despite him winning those fights since Fury, hasn't really looked good. In fact, in his last fight against Ebenezer Tete, Dillian Whyte looked atrocious in my opinion, considering that Tete, in my opinion, isn't a top 100 heavyweight. I don't think that's a push saying that. But his opponent, Joyce, is in a similar position, 39 years old. You look at his recent fights, man, he's coming off 3 defeats in his last 4. 2 of those losses were to Zhili Zhang, but they were devastating beatdowns. But the last loss, man, was to Derek Chisora, a washed Derek Chisora. That's not a good look. You can explain away losses to Zhili Zhang. You could say it was a bad style matchup, southpaw puncher, a guy who's done well in recent years in Zhili Zhang. You can explain that one away, but the Derek Chisora loss was devastating. And quite frankly, when you look at this fight, whoever loses, there's no way back at any real level, Both guys are in their late 30s. Well, Dillian Whyte's 36. Joyce 39. Again, coming off bad performances. It's loser leaves town for me, this one. But at least that means there is something on the line, A career's going to be over, basically. So it gives me some sort of, excitement for the fight. It gets me invested. And quite frankly, given where both guys are at, I really don't know how to swing on this one, to be honest with you. I really don't know how this one goes. Really, it's going to come down to who is the more shots, or who has more in the tank, whatever way you want to look at it. But again, both guys to me have looked poor in recent fights. Even the fight that Joyce won against Cash Ali, again, much like Dillian Whyte against Ebenezer Tete, Joyce didn't look good. He really didn't. When I look at this one, if both guys are in their primes, let's say both guys could rewind the clock one last time, I'd favour Joyce, particularly down the stretch. But obviously neither guy is in their primes anymore, so I've got really no idea how to swing on this one. I don't. All I'm really looking for is a good fight, a competitive fight, an evenly fought fight that, that's entertaining. That's what I'm looking for. But, when 2 guys are shot or washed and they're both facing off, it can lead to a damp squib, a dull affair. Although maybe both guys are so shot that it kind of results in car crash TV, therefore it's entertaining. But, I got no idea how this one goes. I'll be real, no idea at all. But even the winner, the winner can stay on for another fight, but the winner of this fight, I know I say it's winner stays on. When I say that, I mean like the winner can get another big fight, but whoever wins this fight, I can't see having any success after this bout, personally. Both guys need to get on the sauce here, as far as I'm concerned. considering what we've seen from both guys recently. But the fight in and of itself could be fun. It makes sense for where both guys are at right now. Two older guys going at it, trying to cling on to relevancy. Makes sense, right? It makes more sense than most fights for these two guys, in my opinion. On the undercard, just to let you guys know, couple of other fights. One is a strange one. So we got also on this card, Richard Riakporhe versus Lawrence Okolie at heavyweight. That's a weird one, because there was talks about that fight happening forever at cruiserweight, of course, when Lawrence Okolie was world champion. That fight never came to be. But here we have it at heavyweights. It's a weird one, if you said to me, Riakporhe versus Okolie at cruiserweight, I'd be like, fuck that for a game of soldiers. I'm not interested, because we know how that fight would play out. Both guys they had horrid styles at cruiserweight, but both guys holding, mauling, fouling, cheating. Both guys were awful to watch at cruiserweight. But at heavyweight, these guys are carrying extra poundage. Maybe they'll change their styles to be more heavyweight friendly. I'm weirdly more intrigued about this fight now at heavyweight than I would have been at cruiserweight. I'm more intrigued about it now. Don't get it twisted, I'm not exactly marking this one down in the calendar, but at the same time, I'm more intrigued about it now. We've seen Okolie have one fight at heavyweight against a no-hoper. Looked okay, looked powerful, but again, the guy he was fighting was rubbish. We've got no idea how Riakporhe is going to look at heavyweight. Maybe these guys look better in terms of entertainment at heavyweight. That is possible in my opinion. But I don't want to say I'm looking forward to it, but I'm relatively intrigued about Okolie versus Riakporhe. Maybe I'm a glutton for punishment. Maybe there's something wrong with me. I don't know. Aside from that, we also have David Adelaide versus Jamie TKV, or whatever his name is, that guy who's fought on Boxer Sky Sports cards. David Adelaide should beat Jamie TKV pretty comfortably. I don't rate that Jamie TKV guy at all, to tell you the truth. I really don't. I think he's rubbish. Not that, Adelaide's great, but I think Adelaide can be a good domestic fighter. I think, I think Jamie TKV is area level / English level at best. Whereas I think Adelaide has a higher ceiling than that. I think he can certainly be a decent British level fighter. So I got Adelaide in that one quite comfortably. But the card is a heavyweight themed card overall. Also there's the pro debut of amateur star Delicious Ori. That's a weird name, man. That's such a weird name. But he's making his pro debut on this card as well. He signed with Queensbury. He was I think he was a Team GB heavyweight amateur, so he's turning pro as well. Funnily enough, just a bit of fun trivia, I guess. That Delicious Ori guy was actually born in Russia, believe it or not. But anyway, it is what it is. Weird card, I kind of want to say. Riakporhe Okolie was a fight I wasn't expecting to get made. And Whyte versus Joyce, I've long thought made a lot of sense, but I kind of wasn't expecting it. It's a relatively interesting card, in my opinion. I'll watch it if I'm available. But anyway, share your thoughts below. What do you think of this card? Peace.